Do not be greedy. Do not take away from others their chances of being happy in the way they understand it, and from yourself, yours. Leave on time. Go home, even if no one is waiting for you there. From an incendiary party, from guests without a road, from inappropriate connections and bad habits, from depression and gloomy thoughts, from difficult memories, from relationships that have become obsolete, from people destroying you, or destroying your partner next to you. Give him and herself a chance to find someone, and maybe herself, with whom it will be better, more comfortable, calmer, and in the form in which each of you needs it. If you are already unable to give it to each other for one reason or another, do not deprive each other of the attempt, and hope to find it in other relationships and in yourself. Do not be greedy. Do not take away from others their chances of being happy in the way they understand it, and from yourself, yours. Because each of us is at its own point in evolution, and moves in its own rhythm, radiates at its own frequency, and vibrates at its own wave, and receives its own experience. And if you entered into resonance with someone, you found each other, and your joint dance. If in a protracted dissonance, get the necessary experience, sign under it, thank you, and leave on time. Do not set in motion a mechanism that will crush you under the harsh pressure of circumstances, when you will be forced to make this decision, in conditions much less convenient for you, and where you will have to slip out from under the millstones of very superficial, but painfully hurting, public judgments, which it does matter to your true, sincere and vital motives, to your exhausted patience, and long attempts to preserve something, save someone. Leave on time. Do not leave deep scars on the body of your life. Do not infect your soul with a voracious virus of guilt, a feeling that with incredible zeal, tears you away from your exclusively unique life and only yours, and you from yourself. Leave on time. Do not burn drawings on the fragile fabric of your destiny, and do not encroach on someone else's skin. Value your life more than others value your life. Leave on time if someone puts their life above yours, because to answer you first of all for your life, and only then for someone else. No one came into this life to be offered on the sacrificial altar. And life is not given to man, so that he strives to sacrifice the great gifts given to him from above, life and the ability to love. It is not difficult to lose oneself. It is not difficult to dissolve oneself in another, in someone else's life, in someone else's world, in someone else's reality. It is not difficult even to demand and desire it. Finding yourself is hard. Only we can determine and allow the measure of the use of ourselves. After all, sacrificing yourself for nothing, in excess of the measure of participation in someone's life allotted to you, you automatically do not give yourself, or maybe someone who sincerely needs it, or at some other segment of your life, you will not have enough smallness, precisely those wasted forces. Any relationship is fruitful when there is exchange, interaction, return. This is a couple dance. But if you start trampling each other's feet until it hurts and bleeds, you need to stop this dance, and having healed the wounds, start a new beautiful dance, perhaps with a new partner. And so it is in any relationship, partnership, family, work. Learn to leave on time, both within the situation that has arisen, and from the situations and circumstances themselves in your life. You always know this moment. Trust yourself. Do not persuade yourself. Do not be deceived, and do not deceive others. There are no bad people, no matter how much we would like to argue about it. There are people who are different from us. For the true intention of this sacred action, under the sacred name of life, is not known to us, but absolutely everything that is inside and outside, beyond our understanding and within it, animate and inanimate, is filled with it. And God has no other hands than ours with you, and no other responsibility than ours with you before ourselves and each other, but initially, before ourselves. Everything that happens in our life, everything that happens around us, and on the distant Galapagos Islands of Ecuador, not only with the permission of the Almighty, but also with the permission of ours. We have allowed our life to be what it is. We have set this time of change in motion. We have torn off the lever from that spring that has burst with all its compressed and pumped force, and is now beating in a convulsively chaotic free-soar. We have allowed grays to dominate our lives. We have allowed ourselves to be afraid of everything. We have allowed ourselves to be outsiders in our own lives. Look around, maybe it's time to get away from it. It is incredibly difficult to abandon everything that has become obsolete and leave, no matter where anyone writes about it. I argue that this is not so. Leaving is difficult, but leaving on time is a must. Maturing inside your infinity for as long as you need, but leave on time. Get away from the judgments and opinions of others in time. Turn your eyes to yourself. Where is your anchor point? After all, the only way you can turn the whole world. Do not look for it in others, friend, other. I'll give you a secret. It's not there. As there is no happiness in someone, if it is not in you. Get away from obsessive illusions and imposed fears in time, but keep striving, keep dreaming, keep trying. Do not be afraid to make a mistake. It means that you tried. Do not be afraid of the reaction of other people. You still will not be able to predict it until you do what you have planned. And if you can, all the more so. Fear is meaningless. But you will have a chance to leave in time. Yes, just leave and move on. We understand when we don't have something that we would like to have, when they didn't give us something, but we were waiting, but we never think about what we were saved from, without giving us what we want now. The truth is simple. Everything comes in time, even miracles. So, leave on time. Don't delay anyone. Because if you are late, the script of life is already being rewritten for other people.